Hello and welcome back to everyone, respect and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10, and it's a big show. So we had multiple big matches on the card, including Mark Briscoe versus MJF in our main event, and we kicked things off with a big match as well, Speedball Mike Bailey against John Moxley, and Bailey had Mox number at multiple points in this match, pushing the Death Riders leader to the point of desperation. However, interference from Yuta and Shafir saved Mox and allowed him to connect to the Death Rider for the win. It should have been a genuine shock for Mox to lose to Speedball at this point in their careers, but they delivered some wild near falls that really built the drama for the finish. While Mox was kicking out of back-to-back time adventures, devalue Speedball's finisher, the overall presentation of Bailey here made him look equal to a former champ. By the end, they had sold why Bailey could have won, and it's just a disappointment that he didn't. Hopefully it's a good indication though that Jet Speed will remain a priority. Moxley v Allen is planned for Forbidden Door, so yeah, it's not really a surprise, but while Speedball could have got the win, Allen probably also needs a decisive victory to write Moxie off maybe, so I'll go with a 7 out of 10. Moving on into the Forbidden Door TBS Championship qualifier in a fatal 4-way. Timeless Tony made sure Athena could not save Billy Starks, and Alexander Windsor caught her with a small package for the win. Afterwards, Monet arrived to taunt Windsor with the title. Athena caught the Timeless one with a no-face, while the CEO laid out Windsor with a backstabber. This was a fun match, if a bit sloppy in moments. Queen Aminata was a star and proved why she's a future champ. The CEO's back with a quick development of Windsor has set her up with an interesting name, and of course Windsor going back to the O2, it'll be a great moment for her, and I think really solidify her. Teasers with both Athena and Storm indicate that Monet still got her eyes on the top prize, so yeah, it's going to be interesting who comes out of both those matches on top. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Moving on then to Don Callis, Lance Archer, Hetch Sarah and Josh Alexander coming out to celebrate the new TNT champ Carl Fletcher. The Protest Star taunted Dustin Rhodes and Adam Cole as victims of his greatness. Callis presented Fletcher a grotesque painting before the Protest Star announced he would defend his TNT title for the first time on Collision this week. Fletcher certainly earned a celebration after his incredible battle with Dustin on Collision, even if this was intentionally setting up as annoying over entertaining. The Callis paintings were always a wild ride, and Fletcher continues to settle perfectly into the role of his manager's favourite son. Hopefully, given the enemies of the Callis family has accumulated, it will be plenty of interesting names, and yeah, looking forward to it. Before next up, we got a World Tag Title Eliminator Tournament, Young Bucks versus Brodido, delivering non-stop from the start. The Young Bucks looked to just be a bit more cohesive than Brodido. However, momentum shifted over the course of the match, leading to Brody and Bandido pulling out their new tag finisher for the win. Beginning with the hilarious entry of the Young Bucks, and the energy in the arena was electric. Everyone was in for this wild action. This was one of the best matches of the year. The Bucks have been on an absolute tear since working all in. They clicked immediately, and it solidified the contest. It didn't matter who won because they're both massive names to challenge FTR on their way to the Hurt Syndicate. However, Brodido have found something that could make them intriguing. King and Bandido really have turned into something special, and this just worked brilliantly, getting a huge win here. 9 out of 10 from me. Next up, Renee Paquette interviewed Swerve Strickland at ringside, and he made clear that he respected Okada but didn't fear him. He highlighted the unfortunate injury history in London over the years, but promised to change it by defeating the Rainmaker at Forbidden Door. Without Okada around for the night, this was a way to simply remind fans of one of the biggest matches at the pay-per-view. It was not a memorable promo that did allow Swerve to establish where he sees himself next to the Rainmaker. Nothing is more needed to sell the match, but Swerve could benefit from a promo battle with Don Callis before the London show. We then moved into our main event, and Mark Briscoe had MJF's on the ropes throughout the physical match, but MJF found his opening during ducking to the outside, Froggy Warren, sending the chicken through the table. When Briscoe he made a 10 count. MJF caught him with a heat seeker for a free. Chicken got his foot on the rope and during the pin, but Bryce Rumsberg missed it. Afterwards, MJF bloodied his opponent with a diamond ring before Hangman arrived. Since this was labelled as a grudge match and Mark made some serious threats last week, this could have worked as more as a street fight. It's a testament to these men that they work with such intensity, but having to throw out DQs. This was by far the best match of Briscoe's recent series of main events. And it feels like we should get another match between these two, even though Hangman v Briscoe could be more intriguing. Maybe they'll go with a triple threat at Forbidden Door. But yeah, anyway, I think there's lots of interesting options there. But also, I do feel like we need some New Japan and CMLL stardom talent on that show as well, to be fair. Forbidden Door by name, Forbidden Door by nature, question mark. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Overall, this week's Dynamite gets a 6 out of 10 from me. We continue to build to Forbidden Door pretty strongly, but as I say, we'd like more kind of non-AEW night. But in terms of this show, the in-ring action was brilliant. like I said, with that tag match especially, and I thought on the whole it is a pretty fun show. So yeah, 6 out of 10 from me. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.